Almost got everything. Okay. I figured out where I was in this model. I was just doing the back. Yeah, okay, just the back. Oh, excuse me. Alright. So, I still haven't been able to shift that cough. Or the sinuses, my ears are still open all over the place. I'll make the most of it. I didn't get nearly as much done as I wanted painting wise. That's the thing about the hobby. Hobby never ends. Or never changes. Might have to mute again just because that cough is tickling up in my throat. Yeah, hold on a sec. Oh, just can't seem to shake it. Oh boy. And this guy is the captain of the squad, so I gotta decide what I want to be gold. What I want to be metal. I might actually just keep him silver. I don't think I did any of the other ones gold, and I don't think I will. I might just do the shoulder pads gold and then leave the rest as normal. More is less sometimes. Damn, I gotta put my nose. Here we go. Cool. How's the painting so far? Hey, Spook Rosa, welcome in. It's going. I planned to get much more done, but unfortunately, I've just been between work and being unwell, I haven't gotten much done, but we've got everything based black the way I want it. So now it's actually just a case of basing in the metals and the whites. Try and get as much of it done before I head off to Warhammer World. Ooh, don't slip hand when doing edge. Yeah, heading over for a birthday, so I'm just trying to get as much of this based. Like the color scheme, like it's Raven Guard, they're black. So I tried to like keep it as minimalist as possible. So for the, that might be a little bit, no, I was lucky, okay. For the base black, I didn't just want to do a matte black, so I did a spray white base, and then contrast ultramarines blue, and then contrast Templar, black Templar over it. So some areas are blue, some areas are black, and creates a natural shading and lighting in it. I'm gonna clean my other brush as well, just because I was using it to dip paint out. And don't worry, I'm not painting directly out of the pot. I am painting directly out of the pot, but the pot's at the end, so I've put water into it, so it's already pretty watered down for me. I'm literally not just painting base paint directly onto the model. That would be horrifying. Yeah, it's white, ultramarines blue contrast, black Templar contrast, and then edge highlighting with, I think it's rust gray, and then that's the black done. Metal is literally just lead belcher, Griff Charges gray contrast as my wash, then re-edge with Stormhost silver. Then for the likes of these parts here, these are gonna be red, so rebase Corax white. Then it is, where is it here? Wild Rider red, then a layer of Blood Angels red contrast, then layer with the one I just picked up from, it means to see if I got the name of, more Wild Rider red, and then edge highlight with Dragon Bright, what is it? Fire Dragon Bright, and that's the red done. And then if any of the models do need gold, it's just your bog standard. I forgot the, is it Ulrich Armor? Is the bog standard one? Or Retributor's Armor, and then Seraphim Sepia, and then Edge Stormhost Silver. That's it. Like, that's, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, and yet somehow I have made it more difficult for myself. But we're getting there. Like, here's one I made earlier. I'm planning to redo parts of him. And the base is just Martian Iron. I do Fire Dragon Bright on the base, and then I put the Martian Iron Earth, there's it, yeah, technical Martian Iron Earth over it, so that when it cracks, you see the orange coming through in certain areas. Dry brush Ushap Debone or something equivalent, because I know that paint doesn't really exist anymore, and then just stick it up to grass on it, and it's done. That's it. The more complex models, they might have rosettes on them, and I literally just Ushap Debone, Reichland Fleshblade, Ushap Debone for edge, done. Nothing too spectacular. And then is there any other color combo I'm thinking of? I don't think so. Oh, the white is literally just Corax white, apothecary, can't remember the full term, it's a contrast, apothecary contrast, and then Corax for edging, and that's it. And as I said, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, while also still making it incredibly bloody complex. but I just feel like it'll turn out great. What's interesting is the models I first painted are going to look very different to the models I'm currently painting because I did the contrast. They're kind of like the first generation of contrast paints on my older models, and now the contrast I ran out and I had to buy more. They changed the formula on the contrast, so it actually looks more in line with what I wanted conceptually, but it's just funny that the older models will look a bit darker. So that we can just, like, my plan is to basically go through everything I have here and apply lead belcher, because I got them overall base colored, and then I got most of the base done, and that alone adds a lot to it. And then the plan is to get through everything lead belchered and then wash it with Griff chargers. And then while I'm waiting for that, go back over it and do the white basing. So I probably won't get through all of the lead belcher. There's just so much of it, and because I've already done the actual proper base, I can't be as messy with the lead belcher as I'd like. As well, correcting is kind of still easy at this point for mistakes. It's still, if I add Black Templar on over it to hide any mistakes I made, it still kind of comes out as a darker patch. So I'm trying to make sure I do as little mistakes as possible. Then it just makes everything a lot easier later on. Come on, fingers. Don't be awkward. Okay, got that. Oh. I think basically after I'm still gonna, so this is because I'm going away, I'm doing a lot more painting at the moment on stream, but I'm gonna try keep maybe Sunday slots open for a 2 or 3 hour stream for painting and building, and I might do my Raven Guard on the Sunday slots after this week, and then once I have my Raven Guard done, I might go back to my Tomb Kings, building them. Still have a ton to build, and then we have to paint them, so and after that my plan is to go back to my Necrons. I painted Necrons for like 5 years and then kind of fell out of the hobby, and now I'm back in the hobby. I'm trying something new, and I'm kind of like, I want to go back and finish my Necrons, because I painted my Necrons and then I thought of a new painting theme, and I stripped a lot of my Necrons and repainted, and then I didn't finish it. So, like, I want to take some time enjoying what I have. It's a bit hard to see. Come on, buddy. Why are you so dark? There we go. Go back and finally finish them. So I have quite a large Necron army. A shame to not have them painted. Okay. to see some of the angles. Ooh, I'm gonna pronounce the name wrong. I'm so sorry. Hey, Marco. Oh, I'm gonna just call you Marco if that's okay. I don't want to butcher your name. So many figures. This isn't even half of it. This is like what I have to get through. And then I have another box elsewhere. Marco's final. I'm always just like, hello, random stranger whose name I'm absolutely about to destroy. But welcome in. Well, yeah, I was just saying that, like, I've got today and tomorrow to kind of get through as much as possible before I head off to Warhammer Worlds. But I'm thinking, as I was originally building Tomb Kings on stream on my Sunday slots, but I think even if when I come back, I might continue painting my Raven Guard and just finish the army. Try not to be a butterfly hobbyist too much. No, this is for myself. I'm nowhere near commission level. But yeah, I wanted a atypical Space Marine army. And it took me a while to decide on doing Raven Guard. I like the idea. There's Dark Heresy, and I can't remember what the other version is. It's basically D&D, but for Warhammer. And I remember hearing stories about one of the guys. He'd built a Raven Guard character, and they were in the middle of a mission briefing in the middle of he was literally standing there in the room, and the Raven Guard character goes, I stealth. And they're like, but dude, you're in the middle of a room in the middle of a conversation. He's like, I stealth. And he did, because he was Raven Guard. And I was like, I like it. Sneaky boys. So that's how I decided on. But then it took me ages to decide what kind of color scheme, because obviously they're black, but I didn't just want them a matte black, because I think that's boring. So I came up with the idea of spray white, Ultramarines contrast, and then Black Templar contrast. And it makes a nice... The entire model isn't black. The entire model isn't blue. It has that faded... It's kind of like... what's it called? It's almost like zenithal... Nah, it's a bit fudged. I'll have to clean that up. It's a bit like zenithal highlighting, if you've ever heard of that. It's a great way to do models, especially if you've got lighter colors. It's so silly easily to do. I'm not sure I even finished building my assault intercessors. No, I'm a noob, no problem. I haven't it painted yet. Ooh! Well, don't let anybody ever discourage you from contrast, because a lot of people are like, oh, contrast is cheating, and I'm just like, contrast is another tool in your arsenal. You know, like, I use it as a wash. You know, I don't think of it as a contrast. But zenithal highlighting is very simple. So, like, if you have a model here, this is just based white, and the idea is you would take... Usually what you do is you would spray black, and then you would take a white spray, and from an angle, so with your base black, you spray the whole way around to cover everything. And then you take a white spray, and from an angle, you would... And what it'll do is it'll only hit certain areas of the model. So then when you put your base watered down over it, it's naturally already highlighted for you from an angle. That's literally all zenithal highlighting is. And it's a very sneaky way of, like, quickly adding a lot of detail to your model. I went out to buy 3 more paints and an upgrade sprue again. Oh yeah, you're in the depths of it now. You know, Warhammer is called plastic crack for a reason. You can't have a drug habit when you're playing Warhammer. It's too expensive to do both. But like, I was like, I'm gonna build one army, and I'm gonna paint this one army, and then I'll build a second army, and you know, and now I have a Necron army, I have a Raven Guard army, a Tyranid army, a Sylvaneth army, a Dark Eldar models, so they still need to do, not really an army. I've now got Tomb Kings. I've got... Did I say Tyranids already? Yeah, I have a lot of armies. None of them are painted. Half of them aren't even built. I got Karth, Flesh, Agrax, and Blood for the Blood God. Blood for the Blood God. That's dried out. I shouldn't watch this again. Recently, a friend that I know, he was a heathen. He didn't have time to properly like wash out his models, so he put he put Nuln Oil in a plastic like zip bag, and he then put his models in the bag and he spun the bag around, and he was like, done. And we were like, you, sir, are a monster. You don't. And he's like, it worked though. And we're like, it's not the point. It's the audacity. I'm gonna be painting my salt intercessors like Blood Angels Death Company. Ooh. Yes, I know. I've got some Blood Angels models in the corner. Actually, I think they're gone. Himself's bringing them out. This is going to be Ravenguard via Blood Angels when we go over. As I said, I wanted to have his assault army versus my assault army. I feel like that's too much paint. Even with watered down, it can still, as it dries out, starts to congeal. Let's grab this. Got me into is an avid Dark Angels player. Oh, I'm more into it for the painting building than the playing myself. I am the same. I love just sitting down, chilling, sticking my headset on, popping some music in, and just watching a model come to life as you just, the more and more you paint it. Really, I don't know if you guys can see the angle, but I definitely can't see the angle from here. All right. It's a bit better. Playing Telltale games is a bit too intense for me myself. Can't keep focused for that amount of time. Do you know, I would recommend, right, because I'm the same. I can't sit there for 20 minutes at a time while somebody's moving 10,000 bloody models. It just drives me nuts. So we started playing with an alternating activations, and it speeds up the game and keeps people included a lot things. So the game is exactly the same rule-wise, right? But you know the way you roll for initiative, and then whoever has initiative goes first. But the way we do it is, so you roll for initiative, say I get the initiative, and my opponent, goes second. I deploy my first unit, and then he deploys his first unit, and then we take turns deploying. And it gets very tactical because you're like, oh, that person put that thing there. I should probably put this there. You have to prioritize certain models. And then when it comes to movement, it's the same. I get to move a unit first, and then my opponent gets to move a unit. And then firing phase and all that kind of stuff is the same. Whoever has priority gets to choose a unit to go first, and then you rotate it back and forth. So it's a lot more engaging. And it just means that you don't have to sit there waiting to die. Because that was one of the things is with Warhammer, you can have a lot of what's called alpha striking, where like you set up all your units and you go to play the game and the person, turn ones you. And you're like, well, that was a waste of 30 minutes of my entire life. So it eliminates the alpha striking and it keeps you more engaged. We've been testing it out and it's been working out pretty well. Okay. These are newer models, so I gotta figure out. Whereas like my other one that I have as my base has the blade claws, these ones don't. They have the chain and the gun, so I have to figure out which colors I want where.
Marco_Kowalski has become a potato.
I think they're just the blades of the teeth anyway. this is one of these areas where I'm probably going to have to clean it up later just because it's messy. It's a messy, messy area. You can just pronounce the second bit like the penguin from the movie. Kowalski? Hold on, cow. Kowalski. Oh, text-to-speech. Even though that's not where I got it from. We'll get there. We'll get there. My dyslexic ass will pronounce that wrong 1,000 times before I get it right. But one day I will turn around and I will say it correctly and I will shock everybody. Then I'll immediately get it wrong again in the next sentence. Okay, I think I can keep most of that fine. Right. I'm gonna do these ones gold because he's the captain. So I basically just need to do the weapon. Which ones? I'm gonna probably swap paintbrush. Get my trusty like 20-cent paintbrush that I got in a kitty starter set, but still to this day end up using. Just because it gets bigger surface area. Also, what exactly do you do when writing safety labels for people in it? And also, what do you do when writing safety labels for people in it? Like, what do the safety labels warn for? I'm a little confused. What are you mean? Safety labels. And I see. Oh, okay. I forgot that I had that. Yeah. Job you mentioned in your bio. So basically, like one of the things I'm currently doing is, you know, when you get like an email and it's like, oh, congratulations, you've, you know, won a free Starbucks. You know, click here, enter your details in order to win. And it's a fake email, and they've just stolen all your information. It's like phishing emails. So like what I currently have been doing is I make fake ones of those. And I send them out to companies. I'm hired to do this, by the way. I'm not a scammer. It's a training thing. So if they fail it, it's like, oops, you clicked on this. You know, you just ransomwared your company. Congratulations. Here's mandatory training for IT security you have to go through. And that's one of the ideas of it. So I basically train people to not click on shit. You know, I come with all these safety labels and stuff like that. One of the things is I write documentation, security documentation. So like a hilarious thing where, you know, if you're onboarding a user, every company has a unique process for how they onboard people. And I basically write out all that documentation. You know, how to troubleshoot systems, you know, who to escalate to if you're not allowed to access the system. You know, somebody changes their name, this is all the steps you have to do. But I also, like, in a lot of my documents, there's like sections where I'm like, okay, so you need to do this step, but you need to do it last. And if you don't do it last, you break everything. So, you know, don't do this. Like, one of the other funny ones I had was the client's very, very specific on how you put people's data into systems. And I would specifically like tell people, has to be in this format. So it's usually what is it? It's usually 3 numbers, 4 numbers with spaces in between. That's the format they like to do their stuff with. And as an example, I wrote out like 000 space 000 space 0000. And a little while later, the client comes back to me and is like, so why does everybody have a bunch of phone numbers that are just a bunch of zeros? So I had to re-edit the documentation and go, guys, this is an example. Don't actually fucking put the zeros in. It's an example. So there's a lot of like, documents like that where I'm like letting end users know, going, if you click this button, you will destroy your entire company. So don't click the button. I expect people in IT to know about scams. So, well, like I'm not like I'm sending the phishing emails to people who aren't in IT. That's the thing. I'm the IT savvy person teaching the ordinary end user, don't click on this. And then if you click on it, oh boy, you got training. And it's just to keep companies safe. Like, stop clicking on free Starbucks. One thing I have learned about like end users in IT is that like nobody cares about charity, but they will burn their company to the ground for a free mocha latte. Like, it doesn't tell you anything about society at all. It's kind of funny though, like certain companies, I'm still sending fake emails about faxes. Whereas others, like, they only respond in emotes and QR codes. It's like, oh man, there's such variety in what you can send. At the moment, the big thing that we're doing is AI. And I've got one soon that's like, oh, your ChatGPT account has been breached and all your data has been stolen. Please click here to recover your account, kind of thing. Of course, it's not real, and they are going to find that out the hard way, I think. I think I'm going to do those arm pads. Do I do these with these guys? I should do those with those guys. I'll need to change that. Did I do it with you? I did not. I was lazy. I might be lazy and just leave it. Yeah, it's not worth it. Well, one of the things that is like Starbucks tends to catch, like, because you have to like think about things like, okay, this company is I don't know, say it's not a supermarket. We'll say like it's a clothing boutique company, right? It's like, okay, so they're going to be paying attention to, so they're probably going to have Starbucks, right? Because they're going to have graphic designers, they're going to have like a lot of artists. They use a lot of caffeine, and then you're going to think about, okay, so you're aiming for the criteria of people who drink coffee or who have a significant other or friend that drinks coffee. And then you're specifically going for someone who specifically drinks Starbucks. So the more kind of like narrow you make things, the harder it is. Whereas if I say, a good example would be, oh, Amazon. It's like, oh, your Amazon package was unable to be delivered. That's a great one because everybody uses Amazon pretty much. Whereas Starbucks, it's more of a narrow focus. You're aiming for a targeted demographic of people who drink coffee, and let's face it, it's preliminary female presenting people who drink specifically Starbucks. So it's kind of like you're narrowing your scope to aim and target specific people. Is big AI stuff, yeah. Like I've noticed a lot of companies like, have come to us and just like, hey, what's all this stuff about, AI and blah 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 blah. Like they were asking me like, how is phishing going to change with AI? And I'm like, you're gonna see far less spelling mistakes. It's basically what's gonna happen. I'm gonna leave you because you're gonna do gold in a bit. Like silly things like that. It's like, because like one of the big things is like spotting grammar. If grammar is wrong, that's two things. So if a grammar in a phishing email is wrong, it's one of two things. They're deliberately doing it to aim for someone who is like more likely to be less educated or illiterate because they won't, or have some kind of disability, that like, someone who's dyslexic, who won't catch that mistake and might be more susceptible. Or two, it's from someone who doesn't speak English and they obviously haven't, copped the spelling mistakes. It's the same with when you get scam callers and you'll get a scam call and you'll answer it and they'll immediately hang up because you answer it, you sound young. They basically, those scam callers, they aim for a demographic of like, I think it's like 60 and up. So if you sound old on the phone, they will talk to you. But if you sound young on the phone, they immediately just hang up. They don't bother. They don't bother aiming for anyone below a certain age group. And it's kind of just like, so spelling mistakes kind of work like that. They're aiming for someone who may be not as well versed in certain things. So it weeds out I don't want to use the word intelligence because that's not correct. Like, someone who's maybe more susceptible to not noticing all these red flags is who they're aiming for. I work in game development myself. I'm interning, so I wonder what phishing tactics could apply to that field. Oh, like one of the simplest ones to target vectors of attack is just your password has expired for something. You know what I mean? Or like, yeah, no, like Outlook, your email password, Microsoft, your password has expired. Log in to reset it now. You click on the link and you go and you reset your password and somebody has full access to your account. Congratulations. Simple stuff like that. Or it's like, oh, we're updating the terms of service. You have to agree to continue using Adobe. IT has implemented a security update changing your VPN info. Please sign in here to update to the new system. Like, those are very generic company-wide ones that you can easily implement and catch people with. Yeah. They're also, specifically tech literacy as well is a good one. It's like, the one we did was we actually updated MFA policies in a company, and then I immediately ran a phishing test for, oh, your MFA has been updated. Please scan this QR code to update to the new system. And of course, a bunch of people immediately fell for it because that's called spear phishing. It's when you're specifically like sussing out information because it's very, very targeted. But the whole thing was we'd already sent out an official communication to specify this is how we're setting it up, and this is what you have to do, and this is the link that you use, and this is what it looked like. We'd already sent them that documentation. So if they weren't paying attention
has become
to
potato.
Official IT, they got caught. Yeah, AI will just make things more targeted because it's so much easier to get data points on people and companies. So they might one of the things is they might find out if a company has their list of who their managers and CEOs and executives are, like on their web pages. But you can just take that data and then you can send a blanket email to an entire company going, hey, this is Mark Zuckerberg. Please, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to buy these Roblox stuff, like that kind of nonsense. But people will fall for that. Conversation topic aside, have you pre-thinned the paint? Yes, because this is so it's almost empty. I put water into the paint pot so I could get the last dregs out of it. So everything's pre-thinned. It's just because it's a base paint, it is naturally thicker anyway. Otherwise, I would be using my good old, it's closed at the moment, but it's my my wet palette. So you can kind of make these yourselves if you want. It's basically you get like a sponge, lead belcher, yeah. So you get a sponge, right? And then what's it called? Kitchen roll works if you want to make one yourself. And the idea is that you dampen the sponge and it keeps the kitchen roll very slightly damp so that when you put your paint onto the tray, it naturally waters the paint consistently for you. And also it keeps your paint wet on the tray as long as the sponge is done. So super handy for getting consistency in painting. Anyway, I will be right back. The screen and the music will be on, but I just need to use the bathroom. I'll mute in the meantime. I don't have a be right back screen because I'm on my phone. And back, and I saw that you said I got a cheap plastic container, an airtight seal, and some sponge cloths and baking paper as DIY. Yep, that's perfect. You know, like there's nothing wrong with the DIY one, and there's nothing wrong with store bought either. It's just obviously your DIY one is going to be like less expensive. And like with how expensive this hobby can be, the more you get into it, like cutting costs in that way is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, this guy I can do shoulder pads silver because he's not the captain. Don't have to worry about that as much. Being a student is expensive enough as it is. Yeah, exactly. Like I originally started into Warhammer when I was in college. But I basically was student is broke, so I gave up on it. And then it's only a couple of years later I got back into it when I actually had a job and I could afford to spend money on things. I'm going to be moving up to a higher level school after this myself. Ooh. That's always good to hear. So I can't have to make sure I don't boop you guys with the paintbrush. So I have to rotate it very awkwardly. And just a reminder, next week there'll be no Sunday stream and there'll be no Monday stream. Because I said I will be away. But come Tuesday, I will be back to just mixing my paint up a bit. I dried up on the lid too much. Come Tuesday, we'll be back to playing Metro 3. I still haven't found time to take a look at Demon Souls yet, so but I will eventually. I've just been super busy with work. Even yesterday, I didn't come on because I was working, so. But I finished my audit. Woo! It's taken me 2 months to do. I applied earlier today, quite tense. They can outright refuse me as president. Ugh, I hate that. If they do refuse you, can they like are you entitled to a reason? So like you can improve or like find out what it was you were missing and then reapply kind of thing? Or is it just like, nope, we didn't like the color of your tie that day. Hello. Oh, I'm sorry. The person I could butcher the name with. It's Irotrix? Did I get that right? Welcome in. My ass is dyslexic. So, if I got it wrong, I apologize. Be prepared for me to get it wrong multiple times. Yay, I got it. The only thing they could refuse me on is if I fail their multicultural personality test. Ugh, I hate that. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds obnoxious. I'm sorry, it does. As a test to see what kind of student you are. God, samey way. Irotrix, you got it right. Alright, I'll do the edge for that in a second, but I'll just do some flatter surfaces. Yeah, I hate those. It sounds obnoxious. That kind of test. Whoops. Phone, why are you close? Now I cannot see lovely chatters. Man, I wish I could. Let me see. Colleague of mine goes to school I applied to, and he mentioned I matched the vibes a lot, so it shouldn't be an issue. Okay. Well, fingers crossed. Wishing you all the best and success. What was I doing? My brain had turned off for a second. I'm doing his face area. That's what we're doing. So I wish I could let you guys listen to my playlist, because I said I've like the background music is just a really cool. It's lo-fi 8-bit Skyrim. And I think the link is in the about section about who it is. Like you can find them on YouTube. They do other stuff like Lord of the Rings, stuff like that. Like that's playing in the background, the stream. But like my actual painting playlist is also my work playlist. It's also my workout playlist. It's just a generic, like, I need to concentrate, focus, zoom ego playlist. It's full of drum and bass and dark synthwave, and I'm just sitting here with my headset on, going, "This is great." I can't put it on stream because I'll be DMCA'd, and I'm like, boo. I should just put my playlist up sometime because I have it on YouTube Music. It's got like 700 and something songs in it. Just stick it on shuffle and off I go. Alright, let's get to the top. Oh, ad over. I was literally just saying that I wish I could let you guys listen to my playlist, but because the music that's currently playing in the background is like 8-bit lo-fi Skyrim. I said the creator of that stuff is in the about section. I just can't remember the name. It's 8-bit something or other. They're really good. They do other stuff like Lord of the Rings. But my current playlist is just beating out some dark synthwave, drum and bass, like what was it? What have I got in there? Data Ghost is who I'm currently listening to. I found them recently. I like them. We've got like Pendulum, we've got Skrillex, we've got the Doom soundtrack in there. We've got Pendulum, Prodigy, Massive Attack, tons of great head boppers. I said I might try and get the playlist up somewhere for you guys to get access to it. From this angle you can't really see. I'm basically trying to do the under chassis here. There, that angle's a bit better. I'm not really set up as a painting streamer, so I do this. I did it for a while and then kind of came back to it, and then I'm trying to keep into the hobby, so on Sundays I might do a 2 or 3 hour stream, but unfortunately it's all kind of subject to like how quickly I get my chores done, because what I do is like I work Monday to Friday full time in IT, so like my time is very scheduled out. And then, so Saturday is like my day off. I go out, I'm not in the house. I go out to my local game store, play Magic the Gathering, and I paint Warhammer. And then like Sunday is like the day where I get all of my chores done as much as possible. So I try to do like, if I have time, depending if I need to go shopping or something, I'll go do a 2-3 hour stream in the morning for Warhammer. You're not gonna be able to see this just because of the angle, but I'm basically just painting underneath the carapace. Alright. It's on YouTube Music. I wonder, actually, I could probably, hang on a sec, give me 2 seconds. I can probably stick it in from my phone. I've got my 2 phones out. Where is it? It is copy link. Oh yeah, okay, hold on, here we go. That should be it. Let me just click if that works. Yeah, that's it. That's my playlist I use for any time I need to concentrate and focus. I constantly update it. Like, I've got stuff from like any of the gotchas. Like, currently I'm listening to Nikkei Goddess of Victory song in the background. Like, it's a mishmash of everything. If I find something that works on the playlist, it goes on. And I just keep adding to it. What was I doing? I paint his face. I don't remember what I was doing. Oh no, I finished the thing, so I had to start something new, so it's his face anyway. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, broad genre-wise. Yeah, I basically, like, if it has a good beat, or it feels like tense, I want to say, it helps me focus. I'll just take a break with my hand there. Because I have a habit of being, like, hyper tense. So I can look through. So work focus has a lot of pendulum. Songs from League of Legends like Fire to the Fuse. Mike Shinoda, Subfocus, Graphics, Metrics. AC/DC, Halogen, Three Teeth. There's a bunch of Nightcore in there, so brace yourself for some weebness. We've got some Electro Swing from Caravan Palace. More League of Legends. We have a bunch of random stuff in there as well. I've got some Kesha. Don't judge me. Kesha, if you speed up her songs, is actually pretty good. So Calvin Harris, Zed, Imagine Dragons, Bad Computer, Boss Fight, Protostar. Let me see. Some music from the John Wick soundtrack. A lot of music from Atomic Blonde. One of the recent musicians I found, Perturbator, is dark synthwave. Remixed Lady Gaga, some Calvin Harris, Fatboy Slim, some choice Chainsmoker songs, some Nightwish, Martin, I think I said Martin Garrix already. Who else? There's the entire Nightcore section. Some music from Cyberpunk. Some random stuff in there. Oh yeah, some Mia Asno and Piper Alley. Some stuff from Honkai Star Rail. Some stuff from Todrick Hall. Stuff from, oh my god, what was it called? Attack on Titan. The Animatrix. Nikkei Goddess of Victory, some Biddy Irish, Alien Ant Farm, some Wario, Max Covry. Ghost Data is at the end because that's kind of like who I recently discovered, so a lot of their stuff was more recent. Quite a bit of metal though. I do change it, but yeah, like anything that has like a heavy beat is really I do need to add more metal in because it's more drum and bass and synth than anything else, so I do need to add more like metal into it. Oh, I also forgot to mention for the for any of the leather in this, I'm very cheeky. What I just do is I paint the leather that I want white, and then there's a weirwood contrast that you just slap it on, and then edge highlight with the Ushapti that I already have, and done. I'm very lazy with that because there's also so little of it pops up. I'm like, I'm not fucking arse doing an entire fucking color scheme for this. I'm just gonna slap some wirewood on it. It's done. Just look at my like song, which is a mess. I have my only liked song is actually like a 24-hour white noise rainstorm playlist. Just so I can have something to sleep to. Then I have playlists for everything. So like my work focus is my main one that I use for me. And then I do have one called Pick and Mix, because like here in Ireland there used to be a thing where like you go into the cinema and there's this wall of candy and it was called Pick and Mix, and you'd basically take a little striped bag and you'd fill it with whatever candy you want, and then they'd weigh the bag and you'd pay by the weight of the bag. So that was called a Pick and Mix. So Pick and Mix is basically my brain's going music, if that makes any sense. So stuff like it does have more like Billie Eilish. It's got less rock. It's got like it's got less drum and bass and synth stuff. It's got actual stuff with lyrics. So you do have some AC/DC, some Linkin Park. You got some Spice Girls. You got Beyonce. Like it's everything. That's why it's called the Pick and Mix. You've got everything from like 80s up to recent stuff. And that one's great for parties or for driving. Because you kind of just sing along to whatever's popping up. And then I have a chill playlist, which I don't really use a lot, but it's kind of just more like lo-fi hip hop stuff. Then I have my melancholy playlist, which is like I wish to cry and feel bad. That's what the melancholy playlist is. That doesn't come out very often. And then I have a Halloween playlist, I have a Christmas playlist. I do have a Linkin Park playlist because they are my favorite band. So sometimes I just want to belt nothing but you also have that in the Netherlands. Fantastic. I have a Linkin Park playlist because I specifically listen to a lot of them. They're my favorite band. And then I have I have a Time to Fight playlist, which is basically combat music or music that could be used during combat from like animes and TV shows and movies and stuff like that. Oh, that's a really awkward angle. Hold on. Just concentrating while I'm doing the teeth of the blade here. Alright, I think we're good. Alright. Yeah. Ooh, nice. Yeah, my family is very into vinyl. I myself wasn't, because I'm very much into like convenience stuff and ease of access, because sometimes, switch flips in my head and I don't want to listen to something anymore and I just want to be able to instantly change it. But we have invested in some nice vinyl. Stuff like, I can literally see it from here. So the Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon soundtrack, Warhammer 40k Dawn of War, the Doom soundtrack, Dark Tide, Mass Effect trilogy, because I'm in what's classed as we've converted our dining room, because we don't really use it very often, into a gaming room. So sometimes when we're like playing a game of 40k, we might just pop open the record player, slap the Dawn of War soundtrack on, and have that playing while we're actually doing Warhammer games. Yeah, it's also a very expensive hobby, yeah. I think nowadays, though, it's kind of like, I think it's always kind of been the way of like with vinyl, it's a case of you physically own it. You know what I mean? Like that's become like a huge point of contention nowadays with especially in the gaming industry, with being able to like physically own something. So like they can't take it away from you. What are we at? Just trying to keep an eye. 9. Okay. So I want to go for a walk this evening, so I gotta just keep an eye on the time. I should be here for another while, and also it's the case of I can't really spend a lot of time in these chairs in this room, because after a while it just starts to hurt. So I can only spend an hour or two here. I'll take time then to go for a walk. Seeing as I haven't been able to go to the gym in ages, I'm still recovering from that bloody sinuses. I did adult stuff and I cleaned out part of the attic and I gave myself a partial sinus infection. Alright, it's gonna be a bit awkward to see. Just pause and blow my nose again. God damn it. Yeah, I cleaned out a bunch of the attic, and basically, even with antihistamines, I was dying for a week. So I did the stream, and now I'm kind of like, I'm on the tail end of it. Like, most of it's gone. I don't really have the pressure in my face anymore from the sinuses. My nose is still runny, and my ears keep popping because the pressure in them keeps changing, and it's driving me nuts. So I apologize if I'm breathing in, because I said as I'm using my phone camera, so it's my phone mic, so if I'm breathing on you guys, I apologize, but like literally I can't breathe through my nose, so I have to very much mouth breathe. Alright. I think my collection sits at over 600. Nice. Someone said I gained quite some value. Is that black or blue? The model, because that's what I'm aiming for. So the model is both. So under certain light, it changes, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want to do a matte black. So it's black, but then I said like the lighting is very intense with the thing I have on at the moment. But the idea is that as you turn the model, actually hold it up a bit closer, the color changes depending on the lighting. And that's what I wanted. Because I was like, I want a midnight blue. And everyone's like, oh, so you're painting Night Lords. And I'm like, no, I don't want to paint Night Lords. I very distinctly do not like Night Lords. But I didn't want to just do matte black. And I think this is a great kind of idea, because it's not Night Lords blue. It's its own kind of thing. And it also means that I don't have to add. It sounds very odd. I don't have to add as much to the model. That's why I can keep it very, very simple. Sorry, my phone closed out. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, because my idea is like they're not matte black. And I just was like, yeah, I found this, and I was like, this is a great idea. And as what I was trying to say was that like you don't actually have to add a lot to the model, because the 2 contrast washes does a lot for it. So you can focus on little things, and like that's all. Ravens are my favorite bird, funnily enough. They're pretty cool. I don't think I have a favorite bird. I'm more a case of you show me a cute bird that's fluffy and being adorable, and I'll be like, aww. Like even when we go for our walks, if I see a dog, I'm just like, dog, and like I'll be talking about the dog the whole day. Dogs are cute and fluffy. I don't think I'm really much of a bird person. Like I will say, ravens are cool. They're so smart. Actually, probably a robin. Now that I think about it, my favorite bird's probably a robin, just because in Ireland they're such a great thing to see. Like the other day when we were on the weekend, we were cleaning up the garden, and I saw a thing fly by me, and I stopped. And this cheeky little robin, he probably was like 7 feet away from me, probably. And then he hopped a little bit closer, and then he hopped a little bit closer, and then he was literally within touching distance. And he was just having a look, and I was going, well, aren't you a cheeky little shite? And what happened was, because I was cutting, because we were like cutting the grass and stuff like that, he was basically going, ooh, look at that. That's a worm. That's a bug. I'm taking that. So he's basically coming down, perusing, like he was at a restaurant. But he was weary of us, but he was absolutely not afraid of us at all. He came right on down. Often sitting on the decking chairs and stuff like that around us. I can relate quite a bit to the more hyper-focused stuff, lol. I also have a touch of the tism myself. Ah, you are with the acoustics, I see. Yeah, the work focus helps me to focus, because otherwise I flitter around. Like I can focus on stuff with the hyper focus, but then what happens is my brain can kind of wander, and I can put something down and never pick it back up again. And basically with Warhammer, I fell out of the hobby for about 3 years. I basically stopped painting one day, and then I never picked up a paintbrush again. And since I've gotten myself back into it, I'm doing as much painting as possible. Not enough to burn myself out. But it's a case of, I'm afraid that if I stop, I won't pick it up again for like another year or two. So I'm basically trying to using streaming is a great way. That's why I do streaming. Streaming helps me pick out a set time and date where I'm like, I'm going to play this game. And it's great for helping me actually complete things. It's drying up a bit. I'm just going to add some water to it. So the fact that I've been like picking a specific day during the week, going, yes, on this day, you are painting. And it's like every time you're going to be painting, I'm like, yes, this helps immensely. Routines are amazing. You can keep them up.
104 came back for 42
Did you get diagnosed from a young age? No, actually, I was only diagnosed in the last year or two. Basically, I had a friend who got diagnosed, and we were very alike. And he reached out to me, and he basically was like, yeah, he recommended that I go get tested, and I did, and it was like, yep, totally. I'm high functioning, so I very much do masking a lot. And that's why I swapped over from my face to VTubing, or just hands, because I mask compulsively. I constantly watch myself in any reflective surface or mirrored surface that I can see, to make sure that like I'm essentially emoting correctly in front of people. But it causes a lot of burnout because I'm compulsively watching myself. I think we're So it becomes a problem. So I swapped over to VTubing because I can't see myself in my OBS. So it completely eliminates that problem. Friend of mine got diagnosed when she was 28, and it was quite a bit of relief for her. Yeah, like mainly my whole thing was I had a very negative mental image of myself. You know, I've had people ask me like, you know, are you stupid? And like, you know, you get that in your head. It's like, am I stupid? Am I just a fucking moron? You know, why can't I do these simple things that are so easy for like everybody else to do? And then when I found out, it's like, no, you're not stupid. Your brain just works differently. And it's like, oh, it's like such a relief to go, you know, oh, it's not all this stuff. I work differently. And then figuring out ways that you can work within that thing. Like I've picked up myself a bunch of cool stuff. Like I've got my we just call it my autism turtle. That's not what it is. It's an anti-anxiety thing. Because obviously anxiety comes hand in hand a lot of the times. And basically if I'm too stressed out, if I'm too overwhelmed, if I'm overloaded, I can go to the bedroom, close all the curtains, turn off all the lights, and turn on the turtle. It's a light, it's a lamp. And it has like a shimmering glow as if you were underneath the water effect. And I just stick on the turtle and just absolutely chill. Definitely not stupid, yeah. Under the covers. Hey, Dark Emerald, welcome in. Sorry, I didn't see you. And hello, Blister. Yeah, like it's being able to figure out like, oh, you know, X, Y, and Z is an issue for me, so I should either let people know or I should, you know, find ways to work around it. Like recently I went to a wedding and it's not that I don't like weddings, it's just I get super tired and exhausted very quickly. I forgot to do your legs, that's what I want to do with weddings, because it's so much noise, you know, so much noise, especially when the dance, you know, at the end of the night starts coming happening. And what I did was I bought myself a pair of not noise cancelling headphones. They're basically noise reduction headphones. And I brought them with me to the wedding and it was great. So when the music came on, I took out my headphones and I put them on. And it doesn't prevent me from hearing, it just reduces the noise around me by, I think it was like 15 or 20 decibels. So I could still hear people talking and I could kind of still hear the music, but everything was toned down just enough that I was able to stay much longer than I normally would have. Unfortunately, of course, eventually it just does become exhausting and I did have to go. But I managed to stay for quite a long time, so I was quite happy with that. It's a great little gadget. People are tiring. Plush that I've had since I was 6, lol. I have one of those too. I love listening to waves and listening to that, very calming. Yeah. Bobby, ever since. One sec, I gotta cough. But it was great because like people I hadn't seen in a while, and they were like, "Oh, what's with the headphones?" And I'm like, "Oh, they're just noise dampening, not noise cancelling." Because the noise is like, you know, people I haven't seen in ages who hadn't seen me since I've been diagnosed, and I was like, "No, I'm autistic. I have audio sensory issues. Music's too loud, so I just put this on, and it's cool." And I still have full-blown conversations with them, and they were like, "Oh, that's so cool." And it just means that I can, you know, I can stay longer, I can talk with people longer. I eventually basically decided to go home because people were asking me if I was okay. Because obviously I got to the point where I was too tired and I stopped masking. So it looks like I'm just like continuously pissed off when I'm like that. And it's not, I'm just tired. But people who knew I was autistic started asking me, was I okay? And I was like, okay, I'm not masking. So rather than have people worry about me, I was just like, I am too tired to mask anymore, so let's go home. And we were like, cool. And everyone was like, you know, they were delighted that I had a good time and that I was able to like stay so long. And, you know, and I was like, when I'm at my limit, let's just go home. When do you get to shut down stage? It's time to go home. Yeah. What's also funny, I was explaining to someone, the non-masking happens in two ways. It's like, one, when I'm too tired to do it anymore, I have no energy to do it, or if I'm super comfortable with someone, the mask comes off and they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, oh no, I'm just like super chill, I don't feel the need to cover things up, kind of thing. And I've told people before, if you see me with like that, just fucking ignore me, it's fine, I'm good. I will need to blow my nose, so I'll mute myself again. No, I mean, like, ignore me as in, like, if you see me looking like that, there's nothing wrong, don't come over and ask me, am I okay, kind of stuff. It's like, just ignore it, it'll pass, or it won't. It's like, it's fine. It's not an issue that needs to be addressed. It's just something that happens. Going to lurk and watching TV series. Ooh, enjoy. Thank you for the lurk. Yeah, it's just a case of, it's like, nah, just like, don't address it. Just, it's gonna happen, just ignore it in that kind of sense. All right, I think, yeah, I just have to do his knee pads, I think it was, for this guy. All right. Oh. Let's paint a different model. Still mask sometimes around my girlfriend. There's no real need to mask, but sometimes it just happens automatically. Well, yeah, because like with me, it's happened a case of like, I've been doing it for 30 years. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to turn off when you're automatically, instinctively doing it. It's very hard to turn it off. Change. Sorry. I might have to finish up just because my cough is not going away and it's getting a bit to the point where it's catching when I'm trying to talk. Do the bigger one. We'll see how long we can go for. I might just have to shut up and start painting more rather than talking. What are you working on? I'm still working on my Raven Guard Emerald. Oh, Emerald, I know you're watching a TV show and you're probably not paying attention to me right now, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You need to watch the Fallout TV show on Amazon Prime, and you also need to watch a show called Has Been Hotel. You're listening? Yeah, so the Fallout TV show, I already explained that one to you. It's based off a video game series. It's very, very good. It's all alternate Cold War, but the bombs did drop, and you're basically following the story of Lucy, who's one of the vault dwellers that was built in America like 200 or 300 years after the bombs dropped, and like a whole host of shenanigans happens and she has to go out of her vault into the wider world and try and rescue her dad. And it's just so funny. It's absolutely great. And then Has Been Hotel is a musical TV show. Blister will definitely not watch Has Been Hotel, but he might be interested in the Fallout one. It's very good. So Aspen Hotel is all about can't remember her name. She's the daughter of Satan, and she believes that some damned souls can actually be saved. So she opens the Has-Been Hotel, and the idea is she's trying to recruit souls to help them redeem themselves so that they can leave hell and go to heaven, kind of thing. It's done like, I don't know if I remember showed you the series Hell of a Boss. It's the same group that do it. It's great. But it's like, it's uncensored. There's cursing, there's swearing, there's tons of lewd stuff. It's so funny. Okay. I see the chat popping up. I'm just focusing a little bit here. Okay. Carnival Row. Not sure, but love new stuff to watch. Yeah, I'm currently actually watching my way through Dexter because I've never seen the full series. Okay. So that's kind of what I've been watching. But after, because I watched the Fallout TV show, which is great. And then I'm watching Dexter. And then my plan is after Dexter, I'm going to watch The Has-Been. Because Has-Been kind of got lost for a while. Because what happened was Has-Been was signed on for TV production. And I think it started and then it got cancelled. But it got stuck in this weird limbo where, because the company that had the rights to broadcast the show, they'd cancelled it, but they still held the rights to broadcast the show, which meant that the people who actually made it, it got stuck in limbo. They couldn't show it anywhere because the other ones still had the publishing rights, but they weren't showing it. I think Amazon came along and bought the rights, and it came out, and it was great. Because I hate when that happens, when like there's good TV shows that get cancelled for whatever reason. And it's a case of it's stuck in limbo just because the publishing company is like, nah, we're gonna hang on to this even though we're not using it. Oops, lost you guys. Three series at the moment. I stopped after season 5 or 6. Must get back to that. Watching what? Sorry, wrong glasses. South Park. Oh, sorry. South Park in a series on Netflix called Heartbreak High, the 2021 or 2022 one. I will be watching the 1991 after finishing and watching Fallout for the first time. Well, it was a great show. It was great. Like, I've only really played Fallout New Vegas, and I didn't finish it. And I tried to play 3 and did something incorrect, and everybody hated me. And like, because 3 was such a nightmare to get running at the time, I just wasn't arsed, and I never went back to it. So I actually haven't experienced a lot of the Fallout series. So this was great for me. Like, I had some knowledge, but not a lot. I think I might do the top of this. This is a new model, so I'm just like, I might do this just to break up the backpack a bit more. So I had knowledge to understand certain references. but not a full kind of thing. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know there was a couple of people who were annoyed by certain things in the show, but it was like, come on. I think it was mainly just people who were annoyed what happened with the NCR. For anyone who understands what the NCR is, great, you understand what I'm talking about. For anyone who doesn't know what the NCR is, well, then don't nothing to worry about. But just people were kind of annoyed what happened to them, and it's like, well, shit happens. Have to check Fallout. Yeah, it's great. Totally enjoying Warhammer Tactics. I know you keep sending me screenshots of all the characters you keep getting. What's the matter, smooth skin? Never seen a ghoul before? Welcome in, Bellamy. Yeah, they hate about the so-called retconning. It wasn't retconning. Like, that's the thing. The TV show takes place after... Sorry. It takes place after Fallout New Vegas. So it's not retconning, it's just... It's what eventually happens. Sorry, I got a cough and blow my nose. Oh, what I love about the house always wins. Do you know what I love about that, right? I literally broke someone recently because we were talking about Fallout, because not only did the Fallout TV show come out, but a couple of weeks before that, Magic the Gathering released a Fallout themed bunch of decks. Oh, actually, I can grab them here. I want to just take a break from painting. Doggy. So this is my one. They brought out a bunch of Fallout themed Magic the decks. So hold on, let me move this over. I've yet to get the chance to put these into card sleeves, but my hands are clean. I don't get paint on my hands. So here. So are you boat on top? You're boat on top. All right, so the two commanders, there's a commander deck. So the two versions are Preston Garvey, the Minuteman, or Dogmeat are your two options as your commanders. I've also seen stuff about Fallout mini gifts, so that might also be interesting to look into too. Oh, minifigs, yes, I've seen those. That's cool. And then it's got like the Brotherhood, Commander Sophia Guerre. I think these are acquired mutation. Right. And the actual rest of the deck. So like Codsworth. Let me see. Duchess, the Wayward Tavern Keep. Junk Jet, Megaton's Fate. Vault 21, the House Gambit. Veronica, Distant Scribe. Animal Friend. They're fucking rad squirrels. Strong back. Like, I'm not gonna read it all through, I'll just like show you the artwork. But yeah, like they had a great themed decks. So like there's 3 of them. This is the Dogmeat deck. With Preston. Yeah, there's also there is one with Mr. House, and there's one with Caesar. I think the deck with Caesar was the one that was most disappointed. This is all just land, so I'm just gonna... Well... Yeah. You get the idea. Another settlement needs your help. But yeah, well, how he works, he's broken as hell. So Preston works by... Don't you dare. I saw that. There we go. So he works by, at the beginning of your combat, on your turn, you create a green aura enchantment token named a settlement. And you attach it to one target land you control, and the land can tap for any color. And then whenever he attacks, you untap each enchanted permanent you control. So he's dangerous. You play your land, you tap all your land to play all your cards. You swing with Preston, you untap any land that's enchanted. And then you get, in your second phase, you get a ton of land to do stuff with. He's very, very dangerous. Dogmeat's okay, but Preston is evidently the better one. So when Dogmeat enters the battlefield, you mill 5 cards, and then you can return an aura or equipment card from your graveyard to your hand. And whenever a creature you control that's enchanted or equipped attacks, you create a junk token, and then junk tokens can be sacrificed, basically. Let me see if I got the other ones. How much the deck cost? I do not know, because it was a gift. But usually they're probably between 50 and 70 euro. Let me see. Okay, yeah, there's the science deck. And then there's these guys. Let me check who the commander is. I know Caesar is the commander in this one. Night, Blister. No problem, Emerald. You guys have a great night. I don't know who the second commander for this deck is. So Caesar, Legion's Emperor. Let me have a quick check. I can figure out who the second commander is. What Mr. has? I think it's this one. I'm gonna check. It'll be shiny, so I know it's him. Come on. Oh, look it up. Trying not to actually think that was him just there. Come on. Yes, there he is. Yeah, he's the alternate commander. Mr. House, President and CEO. So he's a gambling one. But recently it was really funny as we were talking about Fallout and Fallout New Vegas, and one of the lads I was talking to was like, and I was just like, yeah, the fun fact that Mr. House is also voiced by the same guy who did Odo in Deep Space Nine. And he kind of just stops and looks at me and he's like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, House is voiced by the guy who played Odo in Deep Space Nine. And I swear to God, the poor man's brain broke and he was like, oh my God, it is Odo. I'm like, yep. So I won't go through that one because I don't know who's in this one. Ah. Yeah. Alright, so we're still working on you. I just swap back to this one. I need to head off tonight. Mercy for looking you up. No problem. Thanks for popping in, right? You take it easy, and best of wishes on your school, college application thingy. I gotta figure out where I want to put the metal on this character. I think it's literally just going to be the front piece here. And that's kind of it. Oh, phone. No sleepy for you, phone. Completely missed painting the top of this gun. Alright, I think we're good. Ooh. He doesn't have a shoulder pad yet. I'm missing shoulder pads for my models. I ran out of them. So when I'm over in Warhammer World, I'm going to pick some more of them up. I think I might do a lot of these guys because they're very quick. Here we go. I just realized these Space Marines are a lot faster to paint than Terminators. So I'm just gonna pile through these. Let me swap. Thicker paintbrush. Got the John Wick soundtrack banging away in my headphones right now. It's great. I'm gonna be careful with this actually, because this could be done as a leather strap, which I can really easily get away with doing. All I would do is paint it white, repaint it white, and then just add the wirewood contrast on top of it. Let it dry. Do some edge highlighting. Done. Very simple. Now for the other side. You probably can't see from this angle. Just trying to get the back of the gun done as much as possible, where possible. Right, that looks to be done. So make sure the front and the tops are good. Okay. Oh. Nope, I forgot the backpack. This part here. My paintbrush has gotten a little kink in it. I might probably have to clean it and just ooh. Oh, I missed. Thank God. And I'll do the pack back and I'll wash it and re-wet it and reform it and all that kind of stuff. Do big guy. try and block in as much as I can. Don't really have to worry about being clean with that banner as much, because I'll need to go back over it anyway. So, oh, my back's getting tired though. Let's finish this guy and then finish up, because I am sore. Getting there. I noticed there's a couple of fingers on these guys. I'm gonna have to go back over because like I missed the contrast on them, so I'll just like dip them. Should be fine. Almost there. Okay. Come on. Alright, don't want to use that banner. The sun's gonna be gold, but the rest of it's gonna be metal, so I'll probably need to swap. Yeah, I swap over my other paintbrush. Okay. Let's get this done. I feel like this is too much paint, actually. For where I want to paint, it's too much paint, so I'm just gonna scrape a chunk of it off. Alright, and then types over here. gonna do all the ordinary parts that I would have done on the model if we didn't have a banner. And then go back to the banner, so then I know everything's done. So chest plates here. Stop part. Get it now. Okay. Instinctively applying pressure on the banner to hold the model in place, and I'm like, nope, need to not do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this metal and this metal. It can be actually I can be a bit messy here. I can be messy here. It's gonna get repainted anyway for the cloth. Alright, put these little bubbles here. What I'll do is I'll keep the skull as skull. And we'll do the lorettes and the sun as gold. The center pillar and the supporting pieces here as metal. I'm gonna do as little paint as possible. So this is such a small area. Just this top part. Come on. Burn it here. Here we go. Just under here a bit. Come on. Okay, did I get everything? There we go. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna finish up there. Most of my back's hurting me. I should be back on tomorrow evening with more painting. And then there'll be no streams till Tuesday next week, and we'll be doing Metro 3 again. The painting streams will continue on will continue on Sundays. And that is the plan, so thank you very much everybody for joining in. I have to walk upstairs and turn off the stream, so there's no way for me to turn it off from here. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye!